Hi, my name is Jesse Wimmer. I'm with MILO Range Training Systems here out of Ann Arbor, Michigan. We do complete use of force and decision-making simulation through our MILO Range system. We do live fire and laser fire simulation, as well as verbalization and less than lethal simulation, where we're using tasers, OC spray, flashlights, batons, and then your lethal options with pistol and long gun options as well. All of those interacting with our downrange image so that we can create the most realistic training environment for our trainees. For the past 21 years of working for this company, I have seen simulation go from a common shoot, don't shoot type of mentality all the way up to what we're doing these days, which is verbalization and dealing with things like CIT and mental health situations. With our training simulators, we are able to take a trainee all the way from the most basic level of skill builder applications and marksmanship drills, all the way up to the more advanced applications where you're incorporating active shooter situations, traffic stops, patrol, and even CIT type of situations where you may be dealing with the mentally ill or EDP or any of those other type of applications. So with the MILO Range De-escalation and Judgment Simulator, a department or agency will be able to take their training to the next level on situations that occur on a day-in, day-out basis with their officers. Included with each system is a CERT weapon, which is a dry fire weapon with a non-functioning slide that has a weighted magazine and a resetting trigger. So you have many different options as far as the CERT weapons go. These dry fire options include the 17, the 19, the SIG P320, the 320 Compact, and the Smith & Wesson M&P. Those are options that are available as well as what's included with the system. On top of that, you have an option to get the recoil kits. The recoil kits allow for using your live weapon with CO2 in the mag well to cause the slide to function. So what happens is we have recoil through our live weapons that have been modified, non-permanently modified, but modified nonetheless to allow for that recoil. You can have the CO2 cartridge, or you can have the refillable cartridge magazine that allows you to get that cycled effect. This cycle is approximately 65 to 70% felt recoil, but allows the trainee to realign their sights and get back on the target. In the case of my demo weapon here, I've also got one of our IR flashlights on here, as well as optics. The system doesn't care what you're running on your system, it only cares about the laser that's in the pistol itself. With regards to the AR platforms, we have both the recoil AR using the CO2, just like our pistols, where you get that felt recoil. You also have the option to get the refillable magazine on these. If you have a refill station, you can use those for both the pistol and the rifle recoil. You also have the option of electric simulated weapons that have proper feel, proper form and function, and use various different magazines that will round count, will lock back, and do the like. With regards to the force options for the system, we have OC spray, we have tasers, we have the X26P taser as well as the X2, and coming online soon we'll also have the T7 taser. OC and flashlights come with most of the systems, as well as the dry fire weapons. For the flashlights, you have the option of handheld flashlights or the rail mount flashlights. We have the TLR 1, 7, and 8. We also have a shotgun shell that goes into any existing 870 or 500, which is a non-permanent modification, just goes in through the breech end barrel of the barrel, that allows for shotgun applications, whether it be less than lethal or whether it be lethal shotgun. Open up the MILO software, you'll see various different scenarios and thumbnails of those scenarios. To see what we're in right now, we can go into the active shooter scenario folder, and it'll bring up all of the active shooter scenarios. If we go into the domestic scenarios, we can bring up all of the domestic scenarios that we have. In total, we have approximately 950 different multi-branching scenarios. Those are free for the life of the system, and as we create them, they are free to our customers. So you should receive anywhere between 45 and 60 scenarios a year, give or take. On top of that, you'll have the GraphX applications, which allow you to see or to use the CGI type of skill builder applications. There's approximately 70 of these that are preloaded on the system right now. And again, we're creating more of these yearly so that they are free to the customer and they can be loaded on the system as well. We also have the firing range, which is where you can create your own course of fire or use one of our courses of fire. These are multi-targets, multi-strings, multi-lane configurations so that you can use your simulator as a firearm enhancement simulator as well. So when you want to set your own course of fire on the system and have people go through it that may be having problems with their qualifications, or you're doing some remedial training, you can actually use your own course of fire or use any of the course of fire that are preloaded on here. We have numerous state, local, and federal, as well as military. Knowledge base allows us to bring up policy, procedure, anything that you want to bring up. Basically, this is Microsoft Office built into the system so that you can actually bring up policy, procedure, in-car video, something off of websites, something off of your training doctrine. Any of those things you can bring up in the knowledge base folder and apply that downrange. The flashlight and low light are available on all of our scenarios themselves so that you can move the lighting from dusk to dawn to darkness or anywhere in between to where you have to utilize your flashlight or transition to flashlight. So you can name your trainee, or you can have it generic. You can apply the force options that they're going to use with the particular scenarios. You can add or subtract or save this information. You can add or save any of the scenarios themselves and what trainees have gone through. You don't have to save any of that if you don't want to. But as you highlight on a particular scenario, it will give you what force options are available for that scenario. This active shooter hostage has as a pistol as one of the force options available on that. If I go to a biker stop over there, my force options are OC, taser, gun, as well as baton. So as you highlight on any of these, they'll give the instructor a brief overview of what scenario or what force options are available for that particular scenario. That doesn't include the compliance branch, which most of these also have, but you'll have various different force options that are available for each particular scenario. Just to kind of give you an idea of what we can do with the system. So at this point downrange, we're showing the patrol car going up to and seeing an individual, spotting him, and they're going to turn around and make contact. On the screen here, we see the various different trainees that are taking part in this particular scenario, the various different force options that each trainee is carrying. On top of that, you have some of the things that we've discussed prior. And then up here, you actually have various different loops that you can utilize to go into various different confrontations with this subject. I, as an instructor, can choose the loop and go from a confused loop, which gives you a quick idea of what those are, to coherent loop, where I'm asking something about the particular individual as well. So let's go into maybe the confused loop, and we can see all the different points and what responses this individual will have. So I can say, "What are you doing out here, sir?" And I can click, "I'm not sure." And he'll respond that way. He's going to keep standing there until we ask another question, so what we call looping. Maybe do you happen to know your daughter's number that you just left her house? I don't know that. So there's all kinds of different looping that we can do on that. So we can even drill it down a little further. So maybe we stay and get out of the confused loop into a meds loop where we can talk about actual medication that he may be on, or various different questions. We can also then go back to a coherent loop if we want to move it there, talk about who he is and what his name is and where he's going and where he's been and all of those, to an end loop where we go with how he's going to either join us in the patrol car where we can take him home, where he walks away. In this case, I'm going to have him end with a compliance of coming to the vehicle and us giving him a ride home. So with our verbalization, we are able to have the trainee go through interaction with the downrange image, downrange subject, and go through a conversational tone with them and deciphering what they're doing, where they're going, and the like on that. That's how we deal with a lot of our de-escalation scenarios, by escalating or de-escalating a scenario, by conversing with the individual or having that individual act abruptly in one fashion or another. The MILO range training systems come in laptop-based or CPU-based systems and go from a single screen system all the way up to a 3-screen and a 5-screen surround system that we call the MILO range theater system. Our portable systems can be conveniently housed in a case and brought into whatever training environment you want to have that training session in. Anywhere from a 20-minute to a 30-minute setup process in order to get that simulator up and ready to go for your next training event. We try to match up with whatever your department's budget is and whatever your department's training needs are. So you can have a system that can plug in and be ready to go in 10 minutes, or you can have a full-on fixed system dedicated to a dedicated room in your facility. Again, my name is Jesse Wimmer with MILO Range. We thank you for your interest in our products and we appreciate your time.